అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. శుభోదయం. శ్రీ మహాగణాధిపతయే నమః. గురుభ్యో నమః. Now today is the 6th day of our yoga classes after completing the 2 months of coursework on topic connected with Sanatana Dharma, and we had one exam also on after these 2 months. And there are some people who could not take the exam because of some reasons. So now today we are planning for a supplementary examination for them. So those who could not attend or take the exam that day, and also those people who want to improve their score, also they can take this exam, and also those people who have failed. There are 2 people, they can also take this examination. So now we will start the session with Vande Mataram and chant Prarthana. After that, we will hand over the platform to our Guru, Dr. CSR Prabhu Garu. Now let us start with Vande Mataram. Request Challa Chitti Babu Garu to recite Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malayaj Sitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Subrajosna Pulakitayaminim, Pullakusumita Drumadala Shobhinim, Suhasinim, Sumadhura Bhashinim, Sukhadam Varadam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram. ధన్యవాదములండి చాలా చిట్బాబు గారు. Now let us request Satyaji to chant Prarthana.
Namaskaram. Let's do meditation for a minute. Oh. 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 Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspada Anasrunvannutibhis Sida Sadanam. Om Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhina Mavitryavatu. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Gurureva Gati Gurumeva Bhaje Gurunaiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave. Na Guroh Paramam Shishurasmi Guroh Matirasti Gurau Mama Pahi Gurum. Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatikakrutim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kruto Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Asatorma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Matrudevo Bhava Pitrudevo Bhava Acharya Devo Bhava Atithi Devo Bhava. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sri Guru Bhyom Namaha. Harihi Om.
ధన్యవాదములండి. Now we will request Prabhu Garu to start the webinar.
Okay, friends. Today we'll be doing some new items. I have already shown you various parts of Sukshma Vyayama. I have already shown you the Sukshma Vyayama for the head portion, various parts, then shoulders, then hands, then fingers, then tips of fingers, then chest. Sthala Shakti Vikasak, then abdomen, Udara Shakti Vikasak, various stages. Then we went to Kati Shakti Vikasak. We have done about 4 or 5 exercises in it, and then for the thighs and for the knees, the chair exercise, and for the legs, we have done the Kundalini Shakti Vikasak and Mula Shakti Vikasak like this. Then we have done the Padanguli Shakti Vikasak, jumping on the toes. Finally, we closed Sukshma with the standing on the big toe. So this is entire Sukshma, about 52 exercises. Now, in addition to Sukshma, there is one Sthola Vyayama also, which I will show today. You might have noticed that Sukshma is subtle exercise, it is light. It is not heavy and it is not cardiac. It is not, the Sukshma is light exercise, it is not cardiac exercise, whereas the Sthola Vyayama are heavy and they are cardiac exercise. So because they are heavy, we will skip Sukshma today and do only Sthola Vyayama. There are about 5-6 exercises in Sthola Vyayama. The first is Sarvanga Pushti. You stretch your legs as much as you can. And close your fist with thumb inside, keep the right on the left, and start from the left leg, like what I am doing. Breathe in, start from here, breathe in. Breathe out. Again, breathe in. That is the Sarvanga Pushti. Second is Utkhudak. Keep your thumbs close inside the fist. Take a deep breath. Jump with kicking the legs on the buttocks and hitting the chest with same time and breathing out. Till then you hold the breath. Then we have Urdhva. Alternative hand and leg to be lifted, breathing in. Then we have Rekhagati, which is you put a point on the, take a point on the wall, and looking at that point, you move forward without closing the eyes and moving the legs without lifting. Without closing the eyes, you move forward till you reach that point. After reaching, you return back without lifting the legs, without closing the eyes. Again, close your eyes and start again. Open the eyes, don't close the eyes. Eyes will water, that's what we want to get water in the eyes. Again, close your eyes and open again. And keep going without lifting the legs and without closing the eyes. This is the lie exercise. Rekhagati. The last and final in this total line is engine dog. You know you always do running, you run outside, particularly military men, they always run outside, but here we are going to run inside the house. At the same place, not inside the entire house, but at the same place. This is called engine dog. Breathe in and breathe out by kicking the buttocks with legs. Take a deep breath. Go to Shavasana. You can run and then go to Shavasana. and to the left. Come to the center. Turn to the right. Come to the center. Okay, get up. Today I'm skipping all the asanas which are already told. I'll show some new asanas. So I've shown you all the asanas in the book in sequence, except a few. Today we will do very important asana called Sarvangasana. In the sequence, Uttanasana, Dhanurasana, Chakrasana, Matsyasana, then they are supposed to do Mayurasana, which is very tough. I'm skipping that for you. We'll be doing doing it in the advanced course. Then we'll be now doing Sarvangasana, which is very essential for the entire body. It is inverted pose. There are two inverted poses. One is Sarvangasana, other is Tirshasana. Inverted poses release the heart from the gravitational pull and also give greater blood supply to the brain. So first lie down in Savasana and bring your legs together, keep them together, feet together, hands together, and lift up the body, build the neck, keep it like a L-shaped straight line. It's a help of your and support. Close your eyes. Then Khatwanga. Yoga Nidra. Now go to Shavasana again. Deep long breath. Relax. So Asana immediately after Sarvangasana is compulsory to perform Matsyasana, which is fish pose. The neck will be bent in the opposite direction. Therefore, it neutralizes the strain on the neck due to Sarvangasana. Matsyasana is compulsory after Sarvangasana in order to neutralize the strain on the neck by bending in the after Matsyasana, we have to do Sharabhasana, Bhujangasana. Start. Lie down on your chest. Keep your hands inside. Arms facing upwards. Keep the legs together. Lift up each leg once. Breathing in up and breathing out. Then both legs. This is Sharabhasana. Then we come to Bhujangasana. Sciatica pains can be removed by first one leg each. Sharabhasana now. Bhujangasana is for the heart. Breathe in and go up. Surpass. Finally, I will show you the Shirshasana also. It's only for your seeing purpose, not for doing. You will find it very difficult to. That's the direct. At the same time. Turn to the right. Come to the center. Okay, get up slowly and sit down and do pranayama. We go for meditation now. Close your eyes and watch your thoughts. Watch the breath. Feel the breath going in and coming out. So, so, keep your mind blank. Go to home, all of this that go home, long home. Om Apyayan Samavalkani Vakaranastakshustroksamagogaram Priyani Tasapari Sarvam Brahmo Vanishadam Stay my son to stay my son. Om Cha Cha Cha. We have finished our practical session today. I'll cover some theory. Today we'll be doing the course 1, unit 2, historical development of yogic concepts. So if you remember in Bhagavad Gita chapter, that said, Imam Vivasvade Yogam Avajayam Vivaswan Manave Prabhu Ravi Devam Paraspara Prabhu Adarshayam Sakale Naina Mahata Yogo Nishtha Parantapa. So Arjuna, over the stages and yugas, that yoga which I taught us to Vivaswan, his son God, and who taught to one Vishwaku, lost over a large period of time, Mahata Kali. Now I am teaching you again. So yoga is the spiritual effort to understand and control the nature of body, mind,
Sorry to
and
interrupt.
intellect of the individual.
1 minute.
Teaching the spirit of personality.
Can we request you to come nearer to the mic?
Please mute your mics.
No, I am saying hello. Your speech is getting interrupted. Can you come nearer to the speaker? Mic. Sorry. Yeah. That is fine.
So yoga is the spiritual effort to understand and control the nature of the body, mind, and intellect of the individual towards reaching an unaltered state of personality. Or it is also a kind of an expansion of the consciousness. It is a conscious attempt on the part of the individual to avoid every possible pain, discomfort, and in that sense of avoiding any type of activity leading to those pains. Instead of understanding this total picture, people interpret yoga as just practicing of some of the asanas, which is not the real meaning of yoga, though asanas are also part of yoga. So simple breathing patterns, or simply sitting with closed eyes, etc., etc. It is associated with the superhuman activities like clairvoyance, clairaudience, and mystic powers. Siddhis are also coming to some people who reach advanced levels of yoga. Many people think it is merely a health and beauty culture, while others believe it to be a religion. In some countries, they thought yoga is a religion, which is Hinduism, and they banned it for some time. Because they revoked, now yoga is globally very popular, as you know. But only a few know that it's a systematic science intended for the evolution of man into Superman, or manhood into supra-humanhood. Any attempt to understand the real purpose, nature, and technology of yoga would require to inquire into the very roots of yoga and its traditions. The origins of yoga are obscure. They go back to many thousands of years and are considered to be divine rather than human. There is one theory that Shiva first taught yoga to his consort Parvati, and therefore she became powerful after getting married to him in the cave of Amarnath. That is one theory. There are many theories how yoga originated. The original purity of yoga is preserved in India for a long period. Of course, now yoga is popular all over the globe in all countries because its teachings have been handed down through the living tradition of master and disciple, Guru Sishya Parampara. So yoga is not to be practiced by reading books or watching internet. To do like that, you will be paying a heavy price. You get side effects. There may be undesirable bad results coming by doing wrong practices because you don't know correct practices because you have not learned correctly from the teacher in person or online. Of course, online quality will be much lower than in person. Now, for the convenience of study, the period extending over a span of about at least 8,500 years, if not more, may be organized into the pre-Vedic or the Indus Valley civilization. Vedic, of course, that's a little controversial whether Vedic age is before the Indus Valley or after the Indus Valley. So we will say, instead of saying pre-Vedic, we will say Indus Valley civilization. And before Indus Valley is the Mehergad, 6000 BC, 7000 BC, on the banks of River Indus, and now dried up Saraswati. So previously Saraswati River was there before the Indus River came up. So it is now known as Sindhu Saraswati Sabhyata. Indus Saraswati Indus civilization. Many figures clearly indicate the continuity of lifestyle suitable with the present day Hinduism and practices of yoga. Right from Mehergad, which is around 7,000 years, you have the Yogasana postures, the terracotta objects found in the excavations of Indus Valley, Mohenjo-daro also. So, and also the lifestyle of the people then and now, the Hindu culture is based on yoga, Ayurveda. Also the seal of Pashupati sitting in Siddhasana. So the Vedic age is supposed to be the period of creation of the Vedic hymns. Of course, those hymns could have been created on the banks of river Saraswati, which dried up long back. It was there in full swing around 40,000 years ago. The concrete traces of yoga have been located in the Vedic tradition. Excavations at Mohenjo-daro and Harappa cities brought into light several seals with horned deities. One is called Pashupati seal, has attracted attention. This portrays a divinity on a low seat surrounded by animals. And that asana in which he was sitting is Siddhasana and is identified as Shiva, Pashupatinath. And therefore the yoga origin is ascribed to Shiva. Four Vedas, Rig Veda and Atharvaveda contain traces of yogic tradition. Yajurveda also contains many mantras. In my student days, when I compiled the yoga verses in the Yajurveda, later on when I grew up, I found the same thing are presented as Svetashatra Upanishads. Then I realized that the Upanishads are derivatives of Purusha Sukta, Nasadya Sukta. One can find the roots of Sankhya cosmogamy, which is cosmological theory. on which the yoga philosophy is grafted. Keshin Sukta shows the roots of Kundalini. So we are talking of the roots of yoga in the Vedic texts and the Upanishads. The Atharva Veda speaks of Madhukasha, a substance released by gods, upon which the sages contemplate. This corresponds to Tantra and Hatha Yoga of internal nectar dripping from top. I told you when you keep the tongue upwards, they say that the nectar will start flowing from top to the tongue. The Upanishadic age, which is post-Vedic age, the Brahmanas and Aranyakas form the transition from the Vedic sacrificial rituals to the systemization of the realization process. So on one side, the Karma Kanda of various yajnas, finally the Jnana Kanda of the Upanishads, we have covered in the lectures on Upanishads. Although yoga is not mentioned in the Brahmanas and Aranyakas, they contribute some sources of later yoga tradition. Shatapatha Brahmana reveals details of Agni Yojana, Prana Agnihotra, which prepared the ground for the yogic theory of practice of pranayama. So Agnihotra is outside normally, but there is an Agni inside also. That is called Jatara Agni. Jatara is this portion of the stomach. Hunger, the fire of hunger. So Prana Agnihotra, so pranayama is mentioned directly in the Shatapatha Brahmana. The Upanishad sages obtained transcendental knowledge through the practice of meditation and inner worship. So one very important point to be understood is we are studying Upanishads or we are studying Bhagavad Gita, which is a summary of the Upanishads. Brahma Sutras, which are a summary of Upanishads. Normally, people think that the theory given in the Brahma Sutras or in the commentaries of Adi Shankaracharya and other acharyas is the final thing. That's not true, because these things are only explanations or commentaries to the original contributions of the Upanishads, which are actually the original source of knowledge and how that knowledge came. Even Bhagavad Gita is a derivative of Upanishads. Brahma Sutras are summarization of Upanishads content knowledge. How did knowledge come into Upanishads? It came through the Upanishadic rishis like Prabhu and so on, who have actually realized in their own internal enlightenment, self-realization or yoga practices, which resulted in their enlightenment. So Upanishads are the expressions of the experiences of spiritual enlightenment received by the rishis of the Upanishads. Chandogya Upanishad explains Om and Gayatri Mantra, the 3rd chapter, and several yogic practices such as tapas, austerity, dana, charity, honesty, arjava, ahimsa, non-harming, and satya, truthfulness, are found in this Upanishad. The same thing became the Yama and Niyama set later in Patanjali Yoga Sutras, much later. So the chapter, same 3rd chapter of Chandogya Upanishad describes the nature of prana, functions of prana and its regulation, which is what is prana ayama. Prana ayama means regulation of prana. Taittiriya Upanishad explains the Panchakosha theory. We have covered in our Upanishads classes the Taittiriya Upanishad, where the 5 levels of the universal reality are explained: Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya. Not only external, but also internal. The 5 koshas, the self is inside the 5 koshas and is covered by these 5 koshas. The lowest, innermost being the Anandamaya kosha. Next level is Vijnanamaya kosha. Next level is Manomaya kosha. Next level is Pranamaya kosha. And next level is Annamaya kosha. gross level outside is Annamaya. Kathopanishad explicitly deals with Adhyatma Yoga. But remember, in Kathopanishad, which I covered in one of my lectures, maybe in the previous batch. Nayamatma pravachanena labdho na medhaya na bahuna stena. Self cannot be realized by hearing to lectures, nor by intelligence, nor by reading a lot of books. Then how it can be realized? Adhyatma yogeneva adhigamyam. The only way is to practice the spiritual yoga processes which can result in the self-realization. In this Upanishad, one finds the ripened form of yoga, where a metaphor is stated controlling the sense organs. This is metaphor is stated as 5 senses as the horses, and their reins as the mind, and the driver as buddhi, intellect, and the charioteer, the person who is sitting in the chariot, is the self. So I am being taken helter-skelter by my senses, which have to be controlled by my mind, which have to be guided by my buddhi or intellect. All for me, I am the central point of all this with all this equipment around. Shvetashvatara Upanishad contributed to the yoga practices with the concept of pranava, omkaram, the doctrine of pranava. This Upanishad extols the benefits of yoga practices. Says that the body is purified by practice. So you can see that the Upanishadic age, already people were practicing higher yoga and it was derived from the Vedic perspectives. So yoga has the highest sanction, greatest and highest, most holy text of Hinduism or Sanatana. Maitrayani Upanishad speaks of 2 kinds of self, Bhutatma and the transcendental self, Paramatma. And it also talked of the various angas of yoga. If you remove the Yamaniyama, which are the moral code of conduct, the main angas are only 6. Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Whereas the Maitrayani Upanishad talked of Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dhyana, Dharana, Tarka, and Samadhi. This Upanishad also specific in describing the details of Kundalini Yoga, nadis and chakras and techniques. This text contains more specific knowledge of yoga and its technology that works as ground for developing yoga of Patanjali's classical yoga. So the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, the classical yoga system presented in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, was a derivative and a summarization or a compilation of the previously existing yoga framework given in the Upanishads. Mandukya Upanishad focused on Om. In fact, the ultimate realization is the sadhana of Om. The Bhagavad Gita also. Om ityekaksharam brahma vyaharan mamanasman yaprayati tyajan deham sayati paramam gati. He who leaves this body while being absorbed in Om, not be born again. Because Om is Brahman and you will be merged into Brahman. The ultimate purpose of all yoga sadhana is to get moksha, to merge into Brahman. Remain in that condition all through your life and during the time of death. If you merge yourself into the Brahman, Om, Sarvadvarani Samyamya Manohati Niruddhacha, Urdhanyadhayatmana Pranamasthito, Yoga Dharanam, Om Ityagaksharam Brahma, Vyaharan Mamanasmaran Yaprayati, Tyajan Deham Sayati Paramam Gatim. So he who leaves this body with Om will be liberated, will not be born again. Everybody will be born again except those who get moksha. If you are born again, the story starts once again, the miseries, the karma, bandha, all. Coming to the Itihasa age, the Ramayana and Mahabharata, Yama and Niyama, the personality of Rama was elaborated in this Satyanishtha, Dharmanishtha. So Yama and Niyama are very well focused. In fact, Ramayana starts with a question asked, or who is such a person, whether he is existing, who is having all the good qualities. So then the reply comes about Rama, who has all those good qualities. Dharmajnascha, Satyasandhascha, Tapasvi. So therefore, such a person exists. So Dharma, Rama is supposed to be personified form of Dharma. Murti Bhavita Dharma. Mahabharata is the whole text is based on Dharma, and it is Panchama Veda. It's a magnificent, invaluable treasure house of mythology, religion, philosophy, ethics, customs, and information about clans, kings, sages, and all other great personalities through the ages. One can trace the elements of yoga in the teachings of Anugita, the Moksha Dharma, and of course Bhagavad Gita, which is in the center of Mahabharata, Madhya Mahabharata. Anugita is an abridged form of Bhagavad Gita, revealed to Arjuna at the end of the Great War. After finishing the Great War, Arjuna asks Krishna, I forgot what you told me, tell me again. So he gives a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita in the form of Anugita. And Moksha Dharma section of Mahabharata reveals the necessary teachings required for achieving moksha. The Bhagavad Gita yoga is not systematically outlined as in subsequent Maitrayani Upanishad and Yoga Sutras, but all the important elements of the yoga path are found in the 6th chapter. It reaches total realignment of our life with the ultimate being. So, what Bhagavad Gita teaches is the realignment of our life towards the ultimate being. It teaches various paths: Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and finally integrates various psychological aspects of man and then employ them to reach enlightenment in this life itself. If you can reach enlightenment in this life, you can be liberated while being alive. And if you're already liberated, Jivan Mukta, then even if the death comes, it doesn't matter because you're already liberated. So that's a better Jivan Mukta Savijnayo Dehante Parampalam. Gitardham Jayate Nityam Krutva Karmani Bhurishaha. Jivan Mukta Savijnayo Dehante Parampalam. I'm not covering Anugita now. We may try to get some other sessions sometime. So this sloka given in the Gita Mahatyam. Gitardham Jayate Nityam. He who always thinks about the meaning in Gita. Gitardham Jayate Nityam. Continuously every day. Krutva Karmani Bhurishaha. While doing all actions, because you cannot stop your actions. Jivan Mukta Savijnayo. Such a person is known to be realized. He has to be recognized as a realized soul because Gita has the power. Gita Ardham Gayate Nityam Krutva Karmani Bhurishaha Jivan Mukta Savijnayo Dehante Paramam Padam. He is already Jivan Mukta, and when he dies, he will automatically become liberated because he is already liberated, even while being alive. It's not necessary that he should die to get liberated. So we should always aim at Jivan Mukti. So that is possible through this technique of Bhagavad Gita contemplation. Gitardham Jayate Nityam Kritva Karmani Bhurishaha Jivan Mukta Savijnayo Dehante Paramam Padam. So it may be said that during the period of India's philosophical, ethical, and metaphysical teachings underwent radical changes. During this period, that is, we are talking of the epic period of the Dwapara Yuga, before that the Treta Yuga. The integrated approach of yoga and Sankhya can be seen. In the time sequence, Sankhya came before yoga and yoga came before Nyaya, Vaiseshika and Vedanta. Darshanas, Sutras. So the Bhagavad Gita is an indication of a revolutionary integration of various different paths, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Raja Yoga. So the religio-philosophical approaches leading to the Vaishnavism, Shaivism, and Shaktism, which came later. So these different sects, Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Shaktism, which came later, and Bhagavad Gita was before them, and it was in between the Upanishads and the Puranas. So the Puranas have actually materialized the Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Shaktism. The Bhagavad Gita was before that. Now the classical age is what we are talking about, the Sutra period of Patanjali Yoga Sutras. We will be covering it subsequently. So in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, Kaivalyam is the word used for moksha. So by removing the obstructions to Kaivalyam, through the yoga Anushtana, it is possible to achieve Kaivalyam. So Patanjali gave the Ashtanga Yoga, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhayo, Ashtavangani. So the Yama is the first, which comprises of 5 principles: Satya, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya, Asteya, Aparigraha, Yama. Niyama, Shaucha, Santosha, Tapaswadhyaya, Isvara, Pranidhana. Niyama. The first 5 are universal, all pervasive, swearing principles which are transcending the time and space in all conditions, all times, in all locations. These 5 principles, Satya, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya, Asteya, Parigraha, are valid and they rule the roost. They form the basis for all laws, even from the oldest Hammurabi Code and the Roman jurisprudence, all came from Manusmriti, which are based on these 5 principles: Satya, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya, Asteya, Aparigraha. Any abrogation of these 5 principles will result in a backlash. That's why the law is created to protect these 5 principles. And this is core heart of Dharma. Satya, Satyarna Pramaditavyam, Dharmanna Pramaditavyam. So Satya and Dharma are the supreme values to be upheld. And Satya is number 1. This universe is held by Satya. Ahimsa, you know what it is. Any kind of harming, either through words or through thoughts or actions, harming others will result in a backlash. You will be harmed again. The backlash will be very severe. And that's why the law protects everybody from getting harmed. And any harming is punishable by law. And similarly, stealing, Asteya, and similarly, Brahmacharya, chastity, that is loyalty to your spouse. Any adultery is punishable by law in various countries in various forms. In some countries, it's punishable by death, even in China, even in Arabia. So, similarly, accumulating, taking others' goods, grabbing others' goods. There are 2 types of ways you can grab. One is by stealing. Other is not stealing, but openly grabbing or taking. So, aparigraham. Parigraham means taking from others. Aparigraham means not to take. So, these 5 principles are universal. Sarvabhauma, Mahavratam, Patanjali says they are called the yamas because controlling. Yama means controlling principle. Kala yama is time, which is controlling principle. It is not a black man sitting on a buffalo. It's time. Kala yama is given a black color because it's unknown. And the niyamas are the prescribed, desirable, moral and ethical code of conduct. Shaucha, purity, santosha, tapas, swadhyaya, isvara, pranidhana. Santosha means satisfaction or happiness with what you have. And a dissatisfied person will be becoming restless. Shaucha, santosha. Shaucha is purity of all types. Swadhyaya, good study of spiritual text, not reading all kinds of junk, fiction and crime and all kinds of things you read. Your personality is nothing but what you read, what you hear, with whom you live. That will mold your person. Shaucha, santosha, tapas, swadhyaya, isvara pranidhana. Finally, isvara pranidhana. That is surrender to Ishvara. So these are the niyamas. In fact, all the religions who accept Ishvara will prescribe the same Ishvara pranidhanam, surrender. Sarvadharman paritijya mamekam sharanam vraja. Now, the asana, you know, there are a lot of asanas. Basically, there are only 4 static asanas: Siddhasana, Padmasana, Vajrasana, and Sukhasana. So, we are already sitting in Sukhasana right now. We have learned Padmasana and Vajrasana. Siddhasana is only meant for sannyasis. So, all other asanas are meant for strengthening the body and the organs of the body to make you live longer and more healthier. You can live longer if you are healthier. Death is waiting to take over in the disguise of disease. So if you are healthy, there's a good chance that you live longer. That's why all the asanas are kept for improving the blood circulation and improving the glandular functions. Sukshmayama is a unique set where the body fitness is assured. And pranayama is a vast subject. In dharana, jhana, samadhi, we'll be doing gradually these things. And after achieving the success in dharana, jhana, samadhi, and after pranayama, the yogis get siddhis, powers. And those who get powers, they help common people in their own life problems. And all these common people run behind those yogis who get siddhis, saying God, 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 or avatar. All these gurus, babas, who are genuine also, they are all having siddhis, which they are deploying for the benefit of their devotees. But fake babas, fake gurus are also plenty. So the Puranic age, the Puranas, the Bhagavata Purana, focusing on Bhakti Yoga, Vayu Purana, Maheshwara Yoga, Pranayama, Dharana, Jhana. The 18 Mahapuranas and many other Puranas, Kurma, Garuda, Agni, Markandeya Puranas, they all explain the Ashtanga Yoga. Pratyahara means introversion, going inside. Pratyahara. Normally you are looking into the outside world, what is called Bahirmukha. Pratyahara is nothing but Antarmukha. Antarmukha Samaradhya, Bahirmukha Sudurlabha. In Lalita Sahasranam, the statement is there. It is not possible to reach the ultimate truth by being extroversial, but you have to go inside. You have to go inside, that is called Pratyahara. And inside are the phenomena that are happening. Dharana, jhana, and samadhi, which are all inside, not outside. So the first step is going inside, that is called pratyahara. Withdrawing from the external world and going into yourself. Then you will get dharana, jhana, and samadhi, which are automatically, sequentially achieved if you achieve success in pranayama. Right? Once you achieve the greatest success from my guru, I learned advanced pranayama. Automatically, pratyahara, dharana, jhana, samadhi come. So in the modern age, we have Vivekananda, we have Aurobindo, and before that we have the Hatha Yogis like Swatmarama Yogendra, who has written the Hatha Yoga Pradipika in around 12th century and so. And Tantra became evolved during the post-Puranic modern age. Modern age means post-Puranic. And Tantra evolved out of Puranas and Yoga and Ayurveda. So many Yoga Upanishads also came. 20 Yoga Upanishads are there. Nada Bindu Upanishad, Amrita Bindu Upanishad, Yoga Kundalini Upanishad, Tattva Upanishad, Tejo Bindu Upanishad, Kaushika Upanishad, Yoga Chudamani Upanishad, Shandilya Upanishad. 108 Upanishads, 20 are Yoga Upanishads. So the Siddha movement of Indian culture dominated the 8th century AD. Siddhas like Agastya onwards, all the later Siddhas. We will be covering some of those names and their details later. Then the Nath Sampradaya came. Gorakhnath of Gorakhpur, whose descendant is our Adityanath, CM of UP. He contributed in a very big way, and his guru was Matsyendranath, who is supposed to be an avatar of Shiva himself. And I learned higher yoga from Swami Shilananda Bharti of Dhuni Wala Samsthan in Khandwa and Madhya Pradesh, whose guru was Chota Dhuni Wala and whose guru was Bade Dhuni Wala. They were all Siddha Purushas. They lived in 1920s or before that, and they performed many miracles. Bade Dhuni Wala shifted from one body to the other. 6 times he performed Parakaya Pravesham, and he performed many miracles to help devotees in many contexts. So my teacher, Swami Shilananda Bharti, whose photo is there in the Sukshmayama book, he is the advanced yoga teacher, whereas Dikshitru was basic yoga teacher. He himself took me to this Swamiji, and I was blessed enough to learn advanced higher yoga from Swami Shilananda Bharti, who is from the Dhuniwala Samsthan, Madhya Pradesh. But he was staying in Hyderabad, then in Pune, and he left his body, or rather his he took Samadhi finally around before 1990. And I went there to Khandwa and Chipaner. Chipaner is a place on the banks of Narmada River. His Samadhi is there, and his gurus, Chote Dhuniwala, Bade Dhuniwala, are at Khandwa, very famous. Dhuniwala Sanskar, very famous. And even Sai Baba went there, and even Maharishi Kartikeya went there. So Dhuniwala was much supreme level compared to all other yoga gurus of his time. And he was supposed to be an avatar of Shiva himself. He is very close to Ujjain and Omkareshwar. Gorakhnath wrote Hatha Yoga, Goraksha Paddhati, Goraksha Shataka, and other 6 texts on Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga Pradipika was composed by Swatmarama Yogendra, the Telugu-speaking man in 14th century. It's a classical yoga text. Today we study, maybe we study it in the advanced course. It's commented by Brahmananda in 18th century, and Hatharatnavali 17th century AD, Kairanda Samhita 17th century, Shiva Samhita 18th century, Hatha Shankara Chandrika 17th century, and all other. These are the important texts of Hatha Yoga, which gives the asana, pranayama techniques. And finally, yoga is an eternal river flowing through the ages, crossing many hedges and bridges, reaching the present stage. Original yoga itself is not a religion, but many religions have adopted and have been carved out of the practices and principles of yoga, including Islam and Christianity. You can see the traces of yoga very strongly, both Hatha Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Ishvara Pranidhana is the word which actually is the meaning of the word Islam. Of course, they have interpreted wrongly, they have done invasions, they have done destructions, and they are doing conversions. It is all false. But originally, they copied everything from the yoga principles and practices in every religion, Buddhism, Jainism, See, therefore, Dharma and Yoga. Dharma Yoga is the core, soul, and heart of all religions. That is the point I am trying to make in the research of Dharma Yoga. Yoga is a holistic science. It's a systematic science, by the practice of which you can realize the self, shedding all imperfections of the body, mind, and psyche. Thank you. Today we have finished our unit 2. And tomorrow we'll try to finish unit 3. Schools of Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Karma. I close the session now.
Babu garu.
Okay. So now today we'll go for testing now, examination. Or do you have any questions?
There are 2 questions. I think we can just cover it soon
Okay.
before we go to Prarthana. One is, are buddhi and mind different? Do they have physical presence in our body?
Okay, if Prabhu Garu is there, we will answer. Otherwise, we'll take it up later.
Okay, then we go to Prarthana and go to exam.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वस्ति.
ధన్యవాదములండి సత్య గారు. Now let us recite national anthem. Let us request Challa Chittibabu garu to chant.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हे जय हे
Jai Hind. So today we have finished our session and we want to give an opportunity for the people who could not take the test earlier or improve their scores. So those who want to leave, they can leave. Those who want to take the test, stay back. I will take out the question paper and put it in the chat box. Yeah, I'm getting it. Minute. Oh, I got it. Okay, I'm putting it in the chat box. Those, by the way, how many are taking the test? Raise your hands. Yep, one. All those who want to take the test, raise your hands. Only 3. Lot of people said they want to take the test. What about others?
They are slowly coming.
Deciding. Okay. Yes. Anyway, but the time starts from the time, I put it in the chat box. Please decide fast. One, two, three, four. Okay. Now it is in the chat box. All those who are interested can click on that and start answering. Time is 8:03. This is for 30 minutes. 43 we will close. All those who have submitted can leave also. Vishwanath,
Yeah,
Vishwanath, 426.
he's not there. Oh, yeah, he's there.
Yeah, but is not unmuting.
So he wanted to take the exam?
No, he is could not get enough marks.
Okay. So no problem. People who don't want to take exam can leave. People who want to take the exam can stay back and take the exam. 4:33, the exam closes. This 426, they are confused. There are 3 people with the same PIN number. Try to put your proper PIN number. Vishwanath is 426. Yajna Akisetti is 426. So try to understand your PIN number and put the correct PIN number. Otherwise, there will be a lot of confusion.
Sir, namaste, sir. Vishwanath, sir. 426 na the correct number, sir.
Okay, go ahead. No problem. Yajna Akisetti, you are also putting 426. Try to correct yourself. Sorry, I put the mic, I think, on. Sorry.
ఫోర్ 26 ఒకళ్ళు ఎగినా ఉన్నారు. ఇంకెవరు?
Vishwanatha is also 426. He said that his number is 426. Yajna,
అరే
Yajna Akisetti.
ఫోర్ 26 is 426. Four 26 is Vishwanath.
Then this Yajna Akisetti,
Egina. Yes, it is 476.
always he does the same mistake. I think it has been inbuilt at the logging system. So,
Egina, are you there? Egina, are you there?
no, she has left. She or he has, no.
Yes.
Now she has corrected.
Okay.
476, it has been corrected.
కృష్ణమూర్తి గారు,
Acha,
విజయలక్ష్మి,
491 and 92, Srinivas Rao. Why 2 numbers at the same point?
శ్రీనివాసరావు గారు ఏంటిది? 491.
and 492.
అన్మ్యూట్ చేయండి కొద్దిగా. శ్రీనివాసరావు గారు.
Jayalakshmi and Srinivas Rao, I think there are two people. They are working from the same mobile maybe. But they should say it properly. Why put this confusion? I think the time is up.
Yeah. Now, shall we close? Before that, I want to say that 29 is the highest.
Hmm.
There were three people who got it. One is Srinivas Rao, 491.
Hmm.
But 491 and 492 are together.
Yeah, I think they should answer that. Srinivasrao garu unmute చేసి ఇద్దరు కలిసి రాశారా ఏమిటి చెప్పండి కాస్త.
Then another one is Nip Kumar Mehta.
Yeah.
Then third is Vaishnavi. Good. Total 6 people have taken that test so far.
Okay.
Submitted. So now let us
Close it. Yeah. Right. We can close it.
Thank you, Lalita ji. Thank you very much. Okay, bye.